There comes a moment when you can no longer ignore the quiet, suffocating truth. You have been living inside a cage without visible bars, yet it holds you just as tightly as if they were made of steel. And the most dangerous part, you didn't stumble into it by accident. You built it, piece by piece, not with bricks or metal, but with beliefs. Beliefs that have been handed to you, whispered to you, forced on you since the day you first opened your eyes to the world. They told you what kind of person you are. They told you how far you can go. They told you what's realistic for someone like you. And every single day, without even knowing it, you've been carrying those messages like a script you didn't write, but keep performing over and over again. And here's the brutal reality. Those beliefs are not truth. They are programming. A mental code installed in your mind by other people's fears, limitations, and failures. They didn't mean to trap you. Some thought they were protecting you. Others projected their own broken dreams onto you. But none of them were living your life. None of them saw the fire burning deep inside you. None of them knew what you were truly capable of. Yet here you are, living inside their version of reality. You can feel it in your bones. That sense that you're meant for more. That whisper that shows up in the quiet moments telling you this cannot be all there is. But the moment you think about breaking free, the walls close in tighter. You hear the same voices. That's not for you. You're not ready. You're not good enough. And because those voices sound like your own thoughts, you believe them. The truth, you've been taught to doubt yourself more than you've been taught to believe in yourself. You've been conditioned to see obstacles before possibilities, to fear failure more than you crave success. And as long as that program runs your mind, it will keep you locked in the same loop year after year, watching your potential slip further away. But here's what they never told you. Your mind is not fixed. It is not a prison sentence. It is not carved in stone. It is a living, breathing, rewritable force. And the moment you decide to take control of it, everything changes. Think about it. Every belief you hold, every fear you feel, every limit you think is real. It all started as nothing more than a thought. A single thought, repeated enough times, becomes a belief. A belief acted on enough times becomes your reality. Which means if you can choose your thoughts, you can choose your beliefs. And if you can choose your beliefs, you can choose your reality. That's the doorway. That's the escape from the cage. The people who break through, the ones who go from nothing to building something extraordinary, aren't born special. They aren't born fearless. They simply learn how to rewrite the code in their minds. They take the pen back from the world and start scripting their own beliefs. And those beliefs pull them toward their dreams with a force stronger than fear, stronger than doubt, stronger than any obstacle in their way. But make no mistake, this isn't about positive thinking or empty affirmations. This is about rewiring the very way your brain operates. It's about replacing the automatic, sabotaging patterns that have kept you small with new patterns that push you to act, to risk, to step into the unknown. It's about building a mental foundation so unshakable that even when life throws its hardest punches, you stand up faster, stronger, and more determined than before. Right now, your mind has two versions of you stored inside it. The first is the one you've been playing all these years, the cautious one, the hesitant one, the one who settles for less because it's safer. The second is the real you, the one that exists beyond fear, beyond limitation, beyond the stories you've been told. The problem is you've been feeding the wrong one. Every time you hesitate, every time you listen to doubt, every time you tell yourself you can't, you strengthen the first version. The key is simple, but not easy. You must starve the old self and feed the new one. Every time you choose action over fear, you are rewriting the code. Every time you choose courage over comfort, you are tearing down the bars of the cage. Every time you choose to believe in your own power, even when nothing in your current reality supports it, you are training your mind to work for you, not against you. And once you take control of that process, you'll never be the same. You'll start seeing possibilities where you once saw problems. You'll start acting with certainty where you once hesitated. You'll start attracting opportunities that match your new beliefs because your actions will finally be aligned with who you are meant to be. The cage isn't real. It's just a story you've been living inside. And if you can change the story, you can change the ending. The question is, are you willing to burn the script you've been handed and write your own? Because the moment you do, you step into a different world. A world where the limits you thought were unbreakable are nothing more than illusions. A world where the dream you've been quietly carrying isn't just possible, it's inevitable. And it all starts with one decision to take your mind back. The mind is a battlefield. And whether you realize it or not, a war has been raging inside your head every single day of your life. On one side are the thoughts that fight for your dreams, the ones that push you forward, that whisper, you can do this. On the other side are the thoughts that fight for your destruction, the ones that scream, you're not ready, you'll fail. Why even try? Every action you take, every choice you make is decided by which side wins more battles. And here's the truth that's hard to swallow: the life you have right now, your results, your circumstances, your opportunities, is simply the scoreboard of which thoughts have been winning. If you've been feeding fear, fear has been winning. If you've been feeding doubt, doubt has been winning. If you've been feeding hesitation, hesitation has been winning. And no matter how much potential you have, it's not potential that determines your future. It's which thoughts you choose to obey. But there comes a moment in every person's life when the weight of staying the same becomes unbearable. You can feel it deep inside, a pressure building, a restlessness you can't shake. It's the moment you look at your life and realize that you're not just standing still, you're sinking. And the thought of living the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years this way, it terrifies you more than any risk ever could. This is the breaking point. It's not a comfortable moment. It's raw, it's messy. It's the collision of who you are and who you could be. It's the exact second when the pain of living below your potential finally outweighs the fear of reaching for it. And in that split second, you stop asking the question that's been keeping you small. What if I fail? You start asking a far more dangerous one. What if I never try? Think about that. What if you never try? What if the dream stays locked in your head until the day you take your last breath? What if the life you were meant to live, the places you were meant to go, the people you were meant to impact, the heights you were meant to reach, dies with you, never touched, never experienced, never even attempted? That thought should terrify you more than failure ever could. Because here's the reality, failure is not permanent. You can recover from failure. You can learn from it, grow from it, turn it into a weapon. But regret will haunt you for the rest of your life. Regret doesn't give you a second chance. Regret is the ghost that whispers, you could have been more, every time you close your eyes. And the only way to kill regret before it's born is to act. To stop waiting for the right time. To stop believing the lie that you need to have it all figured out before you begin. You don't need perfection. You need momentum. You don't need every answer. You need the courage to take the first step. But understand this, your mind will resist you. It will cling to the old patterns because they're familiar. Even if those patterns keep you miserable, they are safe. Your mind is wired to protect you from discomfort, and change is discomfort at its peak. That's why the breaking point feels like a battle inside you. It's your old self fighting for survival while your new self demands to be born. You must choose. You can stay where you are, feeding the same thoughts, getting the same results, watching your potential wither away. Or you can lean into the fear, embrace the discomfort, and walk toward the unknown with your fists clenched and your heart on fire. Because the unknown is where growth lives. The unknown is where transformation begins. The unknown is where you finally meet the person you were always meant to be. The breaking point isn't the end. It's the beginning. It's the moment you stop living on autopilot and start living with intention. It's the line you draw in the sand, declaring, I will not stay here. I will not shrink. I will not waste my life playing small. From this moment forward, every decision becomes a choice between the old programming and the new vision. Every thought becomes a test. Does it push you forward or does it hold you back? Every action becomes a vote for the person you are becoming or the person you are leaving behind. And the more votes you cast for your future self, the stronger that version of you becomes. The battles inside your mind start to shift. The soldiers fighting for your dreams begin to win more often. And one day, without even realizing it, you wake up and see that the war is no longer even close. Your mind has been rewired for victory. But it all begins here, at the breaking point. The moment you stop asking, what if I fail? And start asking, what if I never try? The moment you decide that regret will not be the story of your life. Your brain is not a prison. It's a machine. And like any machine, it runs on a program. The tragedy is that most people never question the code that's been running their entire lives. They wake up, think the same, feel the same emotions, take the same actions, and wonder why nothing changes. But here's the liberating truth. The program is not permanent. The program can be rewritten. And when you take control of that process, you no longer live by default. You live by design. Think of your brain as a muscle. A muscle doesn't care whether you lift a weight that builds you up or carry a burden that breaks you down. It simply grows stronger whatever you repeatedly do. The same is true for your mind. Feed it fear, it becomes stronger in fear. If feed it courage, it becomes stronger in courage. Feed it doubt, it becomes stronger in doubt. Feed it belief and it becomes unshakable. Your mind doesn't filter truth from lies. It simply believes what you tell it over and over again. If you keep telling yourself, I'm not ready, it will believe that and make sure your actions match it. If you keep telling yourself, I can't, it will make sure you don't. But if you decide to repeat with every fiber of your being, I will figure it out, your brain will start searching for proof of that statement. It will align your actions with that belief. This is why reprogramming is not about empty affirmations you mumble once in the morning. It's about building new mental pathways so powerful they override the old ones completely. Every thought you think creates or strengthens a neural pathway, literally rewiring the physical structure of your brain. And just like carving a new trail through the forest, at first it's slow and difficult. But the more you walk it, the clearer it becomes. The more you repeat the new belief, the stronger it gets, until one day it's not something you're trying to believe. It's simply who you are. But here's where most people fail. They wait to feel ready before they start reprogramming. They think they need confidence first. They think they need proof first. They don't realize confidence is a byproduct of reprogramming, not the starting point. You don't wait for belief. You build belief, and you build it through repetition, action, and proof. Repetition plants the seed. Action waters it. Proof lets it take root. You start by feeding your mind the vision of where you're going every single day, even when it feels ridiculous. You start speaking about yourself as the person you're becoming, not the person you've been. You take small, deliberate actions that align with that vision, even when fear screams at you to stop. And then you collect every piece of evidence, every tiny win, every step forward, every obstacle overcome. And you use it as fuel to reinforce the new belief. Do this long enough, and the old program doesn't just weaken. It dies. But you must understand something. The old program will not go quietly. It will resist. It will whisper, this isn't you. You're faking it. You can't change. That's not a sign you're failing. That's a sign you're winning. Resistance is the mind's way of trying to keep you in the familiar. And the familiar is the very thing you're breaking free from. So you fight back. You fight with intentional thought. You fight with decisive action. You fight with relentless repetition until the new program becomes the default. And the moment that happens, life changes in ways you couldn't have imagined. Opportunities that were invisible suddenly appear because your brain is now trained to see them. Strength you didn't know you had comes forward because your actions are fueled by a belief in your ability to figure things out. The obstacles that once felt like walls now feel like puzzles, and you stop asking, can I? And start asking, how will I? This is the real power of reprogramming. It doesn't just change what you think. It changes what you see. It changes what you do. It changes who you are at your core. And once your mind has been rewired for possibility, you can't go back. You won't even want to. The life that once felt impossible becomes your new normal. And every dream you've been carrying isn't just something you hope for. It becomes something you expect because you've taken control of the program. You've built a mind that works for you instead of against you. And when that happens, nothing, and I mean nothing, can stop you. Pain, the word alone makes most people flinch. They run from it, hide from it, numb it, bury it. But here's the truth most will never understand. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is your greatest source of power if you choose to use it. Every setback you faced, every disappointment that broke your heart, every betrayal that made you question yourself, these moments were not meant to destroy you because the dynamic, they were meant to forge you. They were the fire that could have shaped you into something unbreakable, but only if you let them. See, most people treat pain like a weight they have to carry for the rest of their lives. They let it sit on their backs until they can barely move. They tell themselves, this happened to me, so now I can't. And that story becomes their cage. But pain is not meant to be carried. It's meant to be burned. It's meant to be thrown into the furnace of your determination and turned into fuel. Think about it. Pain is energy. Raw, unfiltered energy. The anger, the frustration, the heartbreak. It's all power in its purest form. If you bottle it up, it poisons you. But if you channel it, if you take every ounce of it and direct it into action, it becomes the most unstoppable force in your life. When someone tells you that you can't, that you'll never make it, that you're not enough, most people hear those words and shrink. But you can choose differently. You can take those words and let them burn inside you, not as shame, but as fire. Every insult becomes a rep in the gym of your mind. Every rejection becomes a reason to sharpen your skills. Every failure becomes another brick in the foundation you're building beneath your feet. The world doesn't reward those who complain about their pain. It rewards those who weaponize it. Pain is also the most honest teacher you'll ever have. It exposes your weaknesses. It shows you exactly where you're unprepared, unfocused, or undisciplined. And while most people take that as an insult, the wise take it as a blueprint. They look at their pain and say, thank you for showing me what I must master next. But here's the part most people miss. Pain doesn't just teach you about yourself, it also builds your capacity to handle more. Every time you survive what you thought would break you, your threshold expands. What used to crush you becomes light. What used to terrify you becomes familiar. And the challenges that once felt impossible now feel like warm-up sets. This is why the people who face the most hardship often have the most strength, because they've learned to turn their pain into momentum. They don't need perfect circumstances. They don't need a clear path. They've learned to create progress in the middle of chaos, because chaos is where they were born. And here's the thing, life will keep giving you pain. You don't get to choose whether or not it shows up. The only choice you have is what you do with it. You can either let it keep you down, or you can make it the reason you rise higher than you ever thought possible. You want to build an unshakable mind. Stop running from pain. Sit with it. Study it. Extract every lesson it has to give you. And then, this is the most important part, act on it. Use it to fuel your next move, your next push, your next leap. Because once you've turned pain into fuel, nothing external can stop you. People can doubt you, situations can fail you, circumstances can shift overnight. But as long as you can turn every hit into energy, you will keep moving forward. And the beautiful, ironic truth, the very things you thought would destroy you will be the reason you succeed. The rejection will give you focus. The heartbreak will give you depth. The failure will give you resilience. And the pain will give you a hunger so fierce that nothing, no obstacle, no back, no challenge will ever be enough to stop you again. That is the power of turning pain into fuel. It's not about ignoring the hurt. It's about making sure that every ounce of it is used for something greater than itself. Because pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. And once you master this, you stop being afraid of hardship. You stop avoiding challenges. You stop praying for an easy life and start building the strength for a difficult one. Because deep down, the harder the climb, the sweeter the view. Rewiring your mind is not a one-time event. It's a lifelong commitment. You don't flip a switch and suddenly become unshakable. You sharpen yourself every single day because the old program you fought so hard to destroy will try to creep back in the moment you drop your guard. This is why you must develop a mindset so relentless, so disciplined that giving up stops being an option. The relentless mindset is built in the trenches of daily choices. It's not built in moments of inspiration. It's built in moments of resistance. It's forged in the seconds when you don't want to do the work, when every excuse sounds reasonable, when your old habits beg you to come home. And it's in those exact moments that you prove who you are becoming. See, the mind loves comfort. It loves the familiar. And no matter how much progress you make, it will always try to pull you back to what it knows. That's why relentlessness is not about intensity alone. It's about consistency. Anyone can be motivated for a day. Anyone can commit for a week. But the ones who win are the ones who show up after the excitement is gone. Relentlessness is the refusal to negotiate with your old self. It's waking up on the days you don't feel like it and doing the work anyway. It's acting on your commitments instead of your feelings. Because your feelings are temporary, but your results are permanent. The truth is you will fall. You will fail. You will have days where you stumble so hard that the old voice in your head will try to tell you, see, you haven't changed. That's when you remind yourself change is not measured by how many times you fall. It's measured by how quickly you get back up. Relentless people don't avoid falling. They expect it. They prepare for it. And when it happens, they get up so fast that the fall doesn't have time to become a story. And here's the key. You cannot wait for the perfect conditions to act. The relentless mindset doesn't care about perfect conditions. It acts in chaos. It acts in uncertainty. It acts when it's tired, when it's scared, when it's unsure. Because the relentless mind knows that hesitation costs more than failure ever will. When you live this way, you stop asking, how long will this take? And start asking, how far can I go? You stop seeing effort as a sacrifice and start seeing it as your advantage. You start loving the grind because you realize the grind is the only thing separating you from everyone else who's still waiting for motivation to strike. Relentlessness is a habit. And like any habit, the more you practice it, the more natural it becomes. Eventually it stops feeling like hard work and starts feeling like breathing is just what you do. You stop looking for ways around the challenge and start charging straight through it. You stop looking for reasons why you can't and start looking for strategies to make it happen. This is also where you develop an unshakable relationship with discipline. Discipline is what keeps the rewired program running. Without it, you'll slip back into the old code. With it, you'll keep building momentum until nothing can touch you. The relentless mindset also has no room for excuses. Excuses are just lies you tell yourself to stay small. When you remove them from your vocabulary, you strip away your own safety net. You corner yourself into action. And that's when you discover just how powerful you really are. When you stop giving yourself the option to quit. And make no mistake, people will notice. They'll notice your consistency. They'll notice your focus. They'll notice that you're moving forward no matter what. And while some will admire you, others will try to pull you back. Not because they hate you, but because your growth forces them to face their own stagnation. That's why you must be ruthless about your environment. Surround yourself with people who respect your drive, not those who mock it. Build a circle that fuels your relentlessness, not one that drains it. Because in the end, relentlessness is not about talent. It's not about luck. It's about refusing to stop until the goal is reached, and then refusing to stop even after that. It's about living in a state of constant pursuit, not because you're never satisfied, but because you know your potential is limitless. Once you've built this mindset, the game changes. You no longer wonder if you'll succeed. You wonder how much more you can achieve. You no longer fear obstacles. You welcome them as opportunities to prove your resilience. And you stop chasing success like it's something outside of you because you've become the kind of person who creates it on demand. That's the relentless mindset. And when you own it, nothing can match the momentum you build. This is it. This is the moment that separates the ones who dream from the ones who do. The ones who keep wishing from the ones who start building. The ones who let life happen to them from the ones who take life in their hands and bend it to their will. Right now you are standing at a crossroads. Behind you is the life you've known, the patterns, the limits, the excuses. Ahead of you is the life you could have, the vision that keeps you awake at night, the fire that refuses to die, the version of you that's been clawing to get out. And in between, a decision, you either step forward into the unknown or you step back into the familiar. Don't lie to yourself. If you choose the familiar, nothing will change. You will wake up tomorrow in the same place with the same problems, thinking the same thoughts, living the same story. And you will tell yourself the same lie one day. I'll start. But here's the truth. One day is code for never. The more you push it off, the more it fades. The dream doesn't die all at once. It dies in pieces every time you choose comfort over courage. You have to decide that today is the day, not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel ready now. Because you will never feel completely ready. Readiness is a trap your mind sets to keep you safe. If you wait for it, you will wait forever. The only way to be ready is to start before you feel ready. The only way to build certainty is to act in uncertainty. Right now, there is a part of you that knows exactly what you need to do. It's the voice that's been drowned out by doubt and fear for years. It's the voice that tells you to go after it even when you can't see the whole path. That voice is your truth. And the longer you ignore it, the weaker it becomes until one day it's gone. Don't let that happen. You have the power to rewire your mind, to replace every limit with a weapon, to turn every scar into strength. You have the power to break the cycle, to stop living on autopilot, to build a life so powerful it inspires everyone around you. But power unused is power wasted. Potential without action is just regret waiting to happen. So here's your challenge. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the right time. Stop waiting for the fear to disappear. Move through the fear. Decide that no matter what happens, you will not quit. That no matter how many times you fall, you will get back up. That no matter how hard it gets, you will push harder. Commit to this until it's not a choice. It's your identity. And understand this, no one is coming to save you. No mentor, no friend, no miracle. It's you. It's always been you. The day you accept full responsibility for where you are is the day you gain full control over where you're going. You will have moments when it feels impossible. You will have moments when you question everything. That's the point. That's where most people stop. And that's where you must go further. Because the breakthrough always comes after the moment you feel like giving up. And when you push through that moment, you will realize something powerful. You are unstoppable. Not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. You will see that the person you become is capable of more than you ever imagined. And once you felt that, there's no going back. So here's the truth. Raw and unfiltered, your future is being decided right now. By this moment, by this choice, by the action you take or don't take when you walk away from these words. You can keep living the story you've been handed, or you can burn that script and write a new one. A story where you are the hero, the fighter, the creator. A story where your mind is your greatest weapon, not your biggest enemy. The pen is in your hands. The clock is ticking. The life you want is waiting for to claim it. Step forward. Claim your power. Become the person you were always meant to be.